Snubino Jayski. Michael, congrats on the pole. Spire's had speed all year, specifically in qualifying, a lot of good results. But to finally
is this going to be a dig?
No, no.
Oh, okay, good. No,
to finally get a pole, like how important is it for the team's momentum?
Well, I mean, anytime you're building positive momentum, it's great in our sport, and it does matter. I mean, all of it matters. And last week was good for that too. We got all 3 cars in the top 10. You know, the race didn't go well, right? I mean, 2 of our guys crashed in the same crash, so that's no fun. And we had, we had to go to the back with that steering rack change that we made, and they ended up cutting a tire, and that kind of ended our day. So, when you look back at Sunday last week, you're like, oh man, we had such fast cars, and we don't have anything to show for it. But that's what's great about our sport is you get to re-rack them and get ready the next week. And, this was the true test for us. I really felt like that. I think I talked about it a little bit last week is this will be the test because Vegas, places like this, they challenge everything, right? Aerodynamics, engine, setup. You got to hit everything just right to be fast here. And so this was kind of that unknown coming into it of, will we have the speed that we've shown at other places? And obviously we did. And so just really proud of everybody at Spire Motorsports. I mean, we're building something, and we know that, and that's kind of the mindset that we have. And this is just one of those next steps that help us get to the next step. That'll help us get to the next step. Mm-hmm.
Go here in the middle.
Michael, Mitchell Brewer, Black Hat Sports. Michael, this is now your 7th career pole, 7th in the last 2 seasons. What does it mean just to kind of found that speed during qualifying and start getting these poles?
Yeah, it's cool. It's great. I mean, it's a lot of fun to come here and have a shot at being at the pole and then executing everything perfectly, which is really tough in our sport. You have to hit everything perfect, and you guys saw how tight the times were. One little mistake and that's it. So I'm proud of the effort that goes into making these cars fast. I think the one of the funny things that my crew chief Travis Peterson said, like, we got a pole at Gateway. We got obviously a lot of poles at the Super Speedway, and then we got a pole in a mile and a half. The only place I haven't got a pole is a road course, which that's supposed to be my thing, And so we've been close. Hopefully this will be the year, right, that we can go get a pole at a road course as well and try to, close out all types of tracks. But poles are fun, and it is fun. Today will be great, and everybody's going to go to the hotel and be excited and be pumped up for tomorrow. But wins are what matter. Right? And so tomorrow's what matters. And so, it's a much tougher challenge to go win that race tomorrow, but that's the goal. And I think we'll have a race car to contend.
Go here in the middle and then to Zach.
Tom Zaleski, Iron County Today. Michael, I'm watching you on the TV as the other drivers are all going through their laps. You were exhaling and inhaling constantly and stressing out. What was the mood like when it finally was over and you were in?
No, it's great. I mean, it's hard to watch when you go out early, just because so many fast cars are coming. And with the times as close as they were, I mean, it's literally, hundreds and thousands of a second as you're watching the tracker. And, the tracker's not always 100%. So you're watching on TV and you're seeing guys start to slide wide and things like that. I'll tell you one thing that was nice is normally you go out there and you put up a big lap, right? And you're shaking and, you got the adrenaline pumping and you execute it. And then you got to get ready to do it again because we used to have 2 rounds, right? And so when I got out, I was like, whew, I don't have to do that again. So there's a little bit of relief as far as that goes. I think that, over the years too, we've been really good round 1. I think that we've probably would have a lot more poles if it was just round 1. And then round 2, we seem to, slip back. So I think this new format might help us a little bit, or help me. Maybe I'm good at executing it once, but not twice. But yeah, it's nerve-wracking watching everybody go. I think once the Penske cars went, I sort of felt a little bit of relief because typically they're the fastest as far as trimmed out and straight line speed. And so once we had beat those guys, I felt like we were in a pretty good spot.
Zach.
Zach Sterniello, NASCAR.com. Michael, the transition from front row to Spire with Travis, is there any surprise or, is there any surprise from that you guys are where you are already speed-wise? And that what you've are bringing to the team this year is already translating into speed on the racetrack, just because you guys are, different manufacturers,
Yeah.
different teams, different processes?
It's so hard to answer that because as racers, we're so unrealistic. Yes, we thought we would do this. We thought we'd sit on the Daytona pole. That's just the mindset. It doesn't mean that it's right, and it doesn't mean that it's, going to happen, because it is a lot to learn the tools and the processes. And, what I would say is that Spire had a really good baseline before we got there. You guys saw last year, at the end of last year, Carson was rattling off top 10s, and him and Luke were qualifying in the second round and doing all the things. So it's not like we came there and we had a lot to go forward to be in this spot, and it's details and it's people and processes, and we still have a lot to do. We are not where we want to be. Today the speed is where we want to be, but there's so many things that have to, happen over the next 30 days, 90 days, 6 months, year, to put us in a real position to contend week in and week out. But we're moving in that direction. And so I'm glad we are where we are, but I'm not surprised by it, but I probably should be, if that answers it.